Okay, let's go ahead and go over some Aeolian uses. We're going to try to cover as much ground as possible here while trying to remain not a very extremely long video. I try to keep everything under 10 minutes and just get straight to the point. So Aeolian does have a lot of uses, and it really depends on how you approach it. And oftentimes it's a temporary thing and not a complete composition. This first example, most people probably know this melody from Debussy, Reverie. Okay, and then after that he modulates out. It's just temporary. So he does a 1 flat 7 9 5 1 flat 7, which is kind of cool, and he uses that 9 in the flat 7 in the melody. So D Aeolian, then he modulates out. Temporary use. Here's another Debussy melody, and I'm going to play a very simplified version. This is from Minuet of one of his suites. Minuet from I can't remember the name. So 1 3 7 4, and of course it's temporary. He shifts and modulates. Here's one I can think of from Ralph Vaughan Williams from his C Symphony. That's one of the main themes, and I believe it's Alone at Night on the Beach. I can't remember the name. Okay, so sorry about that. It's just a 1 with just a 5th, open 5th, and then a 7 with 5th, just a 5th. 5 6 3 1. So now he doesn't stay in the C minor. He actually shifts out, but here's one I can think of since it's so close to Christmas right now. Tchaikovsky. Actually, I'm going to do a simplified version. I don't want to have to play this. Guitar player, I don't want to practice this stuff. So, simplified version. Really simple version. Pure Aeolian. Okay, so what's going on here is just it's just a 7 over the top of the pedal point. 1 7 1 7 flat 7 1. So interesting that it came from a romantic composer. So it's already been messed with quite a while then. Pentatonic scales over the top of Aeolian chords. Well, this will actually kind of mellow out the darkness of Aeolian. It'll kind of give it a little bit mellower sound, and sometimes even a ethnic-y kind of sound. So if you have something like a penny whistle or something, it would actually sound kind of like Braveheart-ish if you use a pentatonic melody. It kind of tames it out, and the reason is because it doesn't contain that flat 6. Even though the chords do, the melody a half does not. So another thing that actually tames Aeolian out is upper extensions and 7th chords. This does not have a very dark sound at all. In fact, it sounds kind of pleasant to my ears anyway. So if I just kind of play on this, and it's because of stuff like the flat 7s and the sharp 11s and whatnot. You could even say jazzy. I mean, that's up to you. It's a subjective term. So it sounds very pleasant. So it doesn't sound very dark. In the realm of complete predictability, the 1 6 3 7 is a super common pop and rock chord progression. You got to be really careful with this one because it's very predictable. So, and personally, I will tend to shy away from stuff like that, but and try to use a different. So I'll just jam on that progression in G minor. So it's really easy to predict. Okay. Very predictable, so I apologize. I just had to stop it because I bumped the camera and I had to reset it because it was all misaligned, and it's not exactly the same as before. So let's continue where we left off. Maybe use chromatic mediant shifts, continuously using Aeolian like B flat minor, D minor, F minor, and then maybe go to an A major chord. Okay, finish it off with that. So Aeolian on each of the minor chords. Very common movie effect, this chromatic mediant shift. So B flat minor, D minor, Aeolian, F minor, chromatic mediant shift. Now to the A chord with the flat 6, just to give it that mysterious sound. Very common stuff with film music. So let's do something else that's common. Moving Aeolian and minor scales in general down chromatically like this. Simply E, E flat, D, all, and use Aeolian each time. So E flat, Aeolian, D Aeolian. Now modulate out or go into some other part. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. I just wanted to show a possibility of using that chromatic movement and just moving down chromatically like E, E flat minor, Aeolian, D minor, and then switching out to a different feel. So these are moves like are very common with film score guys, and especially the chromatic mediants, the chromatic modulation, just simply jumping a half step each time. You could do it upwards or downwards and continuously switch Aeolian that way. Remember, in almost every one of these examples, all the way back to the Debussy and whatnot, Aeolian and the Ralph Vaughan Williams and whatnot, they only stayed in Aeolian as a temporary mode to their piece. It's a lot of the times you will find in music, a lot of music genres that are not rock and pop, is that these guys only use these things as tools, and sometimes they're only a few seconds long in that scale, and then they completely switch out. So remember that next time you're listening to a film score or someone like Debussy or Ralph Vaughan Williams or whoever, a lot of the times this stuff is temporary.